I want to address what I think is a misconception about innovation, and that is that it's expensive. I actually don't think that innovation requires massive amounts of budget. I don't think it even necessarily requires crazy amounts of time necessarily. There's a lot of different ways to prototype ideas and really innovative ideas. It's not just reliant on crazy amounts of technology. I'm not talking about 3D printing or any of that stuff. So one of the tools that I think is extremely powerful, and for whatever reason, we as a culture, we just don't do it that often, is use storytelling and role-playing. How often is it that you go into a boardroom or into a team meeting and everybody just shuts their laptops, turns off their phones, and starts telling each other stories or starts role-playing and sort of acting? It is incredibly powerful. One of the things that I did, for example, once when I was teaching in a toy design class, was I got up and I told this whole story about a toy that theoretically existed. And I went into this whole elaborate story about this product, and everybody got really excited about it, and they were like curious to go look on the website and check it out. And then I told them right at the end that I'd made the entire thing up like 5 seconds ago. Maybe that means that this product might have something there, right? Just by storytelling and telling a story about a product that doesn't exist, how it might work, how it might be used, you could then take it further and say, okay, now let's take this concept of a product that someone just told a story about, and now everybody could take different roles and pretend that they're actually using it. These are things that they're not typically done. You don't see enough of it, but the fruits of that effort are just immense. Another thing that you could do when it comes to very rapidly getting ideas out and choosing atypical form factors is paper prototyping. So it's very similar to using some of the acting-based or role-play-based experiences. You're using paper, so you're just drawing stuff out really quickly, and then people could actually click, if it's software, which typically is, in my world, I'm using a lot of software-based examples, touch it with your hand, sort of pretend that you're using the application, and then the other person very quickly draws what would happen next. You get a lot out of it in terms of usability, user testing, and just being able to see how things might play out in a real scenario. So hopefully I've opened your mind a little bit to the notion that innovation doesn't need to be expensive or necessarily extremely time-consuming. I think role-play-based prototyping and scenario planning and certainly storytelling in and of itself is a very powerful tool. We don't use it enough. Definitely encourage you to try it with your team, and hopefully you do just that and generate some amazing prototypes.